by to allow us the opportunity to talk with you, and we appreciate everything that Father has done.
And then it took so many small steps, even to get right here in this room with you.
What we need is for our felons, people who have been ex-felons, since once they are completed with their serving their time and paying their debt to society, then they need to reapply for their right to vote. But what we do, besides me, but the congressman as well, we want to make sure that people understand that when we talk about ex-felons, I mean, that's exactly what it is. You are ex-felon. You did something, you paid your price to society and to the government, and now you need to be able to get your life back in order and to be a productive American citizen. And one thing that we have is that by us all being Americans, all being Georgians or whatever state the person may be from, you have the right to life lived in pursuit of happiness. One of those pursuit of happiness is to try to help them get back into the workforce so they can be productive, so they can pay their taxes. Another thing is for them to be out in the community, because our neighborhoods and our district need everyone to survive. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past, it's about what you're doing to press forward. So if we can get them to be involved, do their civic duty. If they can say, hey, I want to go and do some things for this church or this school, or to help one of our elected officials, or to go ahead and help our businesses, that's what they need to do. When you come to Congressman Johnson's office, you know that that's your congressman. He works for you, and he wants to make sure that everybody has a seat at the table. Because if everybody doesn't have a seat at the table, then that's when you have more crime, that's when you have poverty, that's when you have people with problems with health issues, you know, because we all don't have a fair share. As long as we're all sitting at this table, we have a fair share. Congressman is one of, well, for the nation, the U.S. Congress is the highest legislative body. They make all the laws that we are affected by on the federal level. Congressman Johnson is in the U.S. House of Representatives. The House of Representatives is the lower house of Congress, and the U.S. Senate is the higher house. The Senate is composed of 100 senators from across the state, from across the nation, 2 senators from each state. The congressman in Georgia is one of 13. Based off our population as a state, you have 13 congressmen. Hopefully, after this year, we may have 14 or 15 congressmen in Georgia because the population has grown so in Georgia. But what they do is to make sure that your laws are being presented, that we present before the president to get his signature to sign a bill into a law. He has to go after your best interest. He makes sure that we get federal monies that come to the state of Georgia in order for us to get things done, like as far as our roads, as far as education, as far as Social Security, health care. He also is our advocate. He's our voice. The congressman is supposed to go to D.C. and represent the voice of the majority of the people.
Specific title is Extradition Reward Specialist. I oversee the extradition process, which consists of collaboration between the 159 district attorneys' offices of Georgia, the law enforcement agencies nationwide, and the other 49 state governor's offices. We work together to facilitate the return or transport of fugitives to from one state to another. So I
is on the board of our nonprofit organization, which is FALA, Felons Adjusting Life Again.
Correct.
And being in the position that you're in, most people would think that you wouldn't be one of the people that would have a care for helping people that has been incarcerated.
Well, through my job and what I do for the state, I have the opportunity to experience firsthand some of the hurdles that individuals experience after being incarcerated, and the way that they are typically frowned on and not given the opportunities to become viable, contributing citizens of our society. If an individual's been incarcerated and they're brought back into society and not given the tools and the opportunities and the help that they need to become better people and not make the same mistakes, then they're typically going to go back to prison. It's the percentage, specifically, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but somewhere in the area of 35–40% of people that are incarcerated eventually end up going back to prison because they're not prepared to uh, acclimate themselves back into society, or society doesn't give them those opportunities because of their past being held against them. And I believe that everyone is entitled to a second chance once they pay their debt to society. We all deserve a second chance.
Got on board of the organization, you instantly found people that is within inside of the government's office to allow our company to come and obtain work for these felons. Can you tell me, you recall that?
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, in terms of getting individuals involved, what people have to understand is all senators, House of Representatives, and all elected officials are just that. They're elected officials that represent the people. So it is part of their responsibility to take part in the issues and the opportunities to make our society better. And this is why we elect those people and put them in office. Through what I do, I happen to have access and relationships with these people, and I understand that most of them are in support of what you're doing, because we all want to create an environment that's going to be safer and better for all of us. So that's why I immediately came on board, because not only do I understand that, but I deal with it typically on a daily basis. I see it firsthand. So I myself feel that I have a personal responsibility, not only as a public servant, but as a human being. We all have a responsibility to one another, and instead of us pointing fingers at who's not doing it, it's a better situation when we start within ourselves and we take the steps to do our part.